Yo, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to kill the Twin Furies effectively. The Twin Furies are probably the easiest monster that you can kill in the God Wars Dungeon 2, so if you're a relatively new PVMer and you're looking to get started, this would be the ideal monster for you to get started on. First of all, we're just going to look at some general stats that are going to try and entice you to actually come and kill them. They have 200,000 life points between them, you can kill around 30 to 40 of them per hour, and in that hour you'll gain 450k to 550k experience, and you'll also gain anywhere from 3 to 5 mil per hour on average. But obviously, you know, if you're really lucky you can get 1 or 2 crests in 1 hour, and then that will just boost the money that you made in that hour significantly. But on average it should be around 3 to 5 mil. Also, speaking of rare drops, if you don't already know, within the God Wars Dungeon 2 there is this thing called Reputation, and as you gain Reputation with each of the factions you will gain new perks, and one of the main perks from each of the factions is that you'll get an increased rare item drop chance. So at maximum Reputation for Zamorak, which is the one for Twin Furies, you will get a 100% rare drop chance increase. So this basically doubles your chance to get a rare item. If you plan on camping here for a long time, I'd highly suggest getting that up as soon as you can, because it will boost your GP per hour, and as you gain more Reputation you should notice the increase significantly. But anyway, let's move on to the gear and inventory that you should be using. As you can see, this is the gear that I personally use. I use full Malevolent with a Noxious Scythe, that Fight Kiln cape, I use a Ring of Death and a Death Touch bracelet, along with an Amulet of Souls, any aura that I want, and a Scrimshaw of Vampirism. Usually the Scrimshaw of Vampirism is there just in case I go low for any reason, so it's not actually required. But let's just look at some alternatives that you can use. For armor, I'd recommend that the lowest armor that you use is Bandos. If you wear armor less than that, then you're just going to be getting hit too much. I actually recommend the other armors that you can see on screen, and that are Torva and the Anima Core of Zaros armor. I just feel like with Bandos you get hit too much and then you're actually going to need to use that Scrimshaw of Vampirism all the time. So it's not really worth it if you have to have that on constantly, because if you do, that Scrimshaw will cost you 750k an hour alone, and it's not like you're making insane mills here, so I'd just recommend any of the higher tier armors. As for your weapon, you're either going to need a Noxious Scythe or a Dragon Rider Lance. You're either going to need one of the two. Obviously the Noxious Scythe is better, but if you can't afford a Noxious Scythe then just use a Dragon Rider Lance. I think they're going for around 24 mil at the moment, but you know, that could go up or down in the future. You need one of these two because then you can use AoE abilities to hit both of the Twin Furies at the same time, and this is why this method is so effective, because you'll be getting kills so quickly, and then, you know, the quicker you get kills the more money you make. As for the jewellery that you should be wearing, just wear whatever's best available to you, because as long as it's not complete turd you should be fine. Moving on to the inventory, as you can see I have overloads, adrenaline potions, super restores and some rocktail just in case. I only take the food just in case I go very low, because when I tend to do this I tend to not concentrate sometimes, and then I just get hit by some of the abilities that I should have dodged. So yeah, if you're starting out with this, I highly suggest bringing some food. And a useful item that you can add to this inventory is a Ring of Vigor. This is actually very useful, so if you have one of them just bring it along as well. Please note that this inventory is very basic. If you have anything else that you think is useful, just bring it along, and then you should be good to go. Also, if you don't have overloads, just use Super War Master's Potion, and then that should act as a good replacement. And also, for your summoning familiar, you want to be using a Blood Nihil for that extra accuracy. So it's time to get into action and actually start killing the Twin Furies. Just gather up your kill count, whether it be 40 kill count or 20 if you have the reputation in order to do so. And before you actually get in, make sure you have 100% adrenaline. You can get your adrenaline up just by hitting the monsters that you use to get your kill count, and then just adrenaline stall on the way to the portal. If you don't know what adrenaline stalling is, it's basically just trying to keep it at 100 until you get a chance to use it effectively. The spells that I like to use in order to do this are Surge, Anticipation and Freedom. Just use one of them every 9 seconds if needed, and then you should still have 100% by the time you enter their little lair. So I'm going to start this guide off as if you've just killed your first one. Everything's basically the same, except on your first kill you won't be able to do the first 2 steps since it spawns so quickly. So if you are on your first kill, like I said, it's the same. You just won't be able to do the first steps that I'm going to show you. So after you've killed your first one, you want to be standing here in preparation for the next kill. You want to be adrenaline stalling using Preparation and Freedom. Just use Preparation once, wait 9 seconds, and then use Freedom, and then you should be ready to go. As soon as they spawn, you want to click on Nymora and use Cleave, and then straight after Cleave, you want to use Hurricane. After you've used Hurricane, move a bit to the right to move out of the way of Avaris' attack. This is the first of 3 special moves that they'll be doing. Basically what it is Avaris will run from wall to wall, and if you get hit you'll be dragged along with her and be dealt like under 2k damage. She does this 4 times. The first wall is the north, then the east, then the south, and then the west. All you have to do is move 2 spaces away from the area that you are standing in, and then you should be able to dodge the attacks with no trouble. After Avaris is finished, she'll rejoin the battle. As soon as she gets close, use Quake. After you've used Quake, use Hurricane, then use any other 2 abilities. Please bear in mind that at this point you should still be attacking Nymora, and then after you've used those 4 abilities, use Slaughter. You want to use Slaughter here because she'll take 3 times as much damage if she moves, and by the time you finish casting Slaughter, she'd run off to somewhere in the arena. When she runs off, you want to stand under her so you don't get hit by the rain, and then you just want to focus all your attacks on Avaris. You want to use Assault if you have it up, and you want to make sure that you have 100% adrenaline by the time this special move ends. You want to have 100% adrenaline because around the 50 to 55 second mark you want to cast Berserk. Once you do this, you want to get your adrenaline to 50 as soon as possible. This is why the Ring of Vigor is so useful here, and it's also why adrenaline pots are so useful as well. So if you do have adrenaline potions, as soon as you pop Berserk, use one. And then as you can see, Nymora and Avaris have gone to the middle of the arena and are casting some sort of voodoo spell, and at this point they are more vulnerable and you can do more damage to them. So you want to stand in a spot where you'll be able to hit both of them with your cleave. The spot that I'm showing you now always works for me, so I'd highly recommend standing here. Just stand next to one of the Twin Furies, it doesn't really matter, and attack the other one. This should make it so that either your Scythe or your Dragon Rider Lance hits them both. If you have enough adrenaline, you want to use your Quake first, and then your Hurricane, and then just use Cleave whenever you can. If you don't manage to kill them before the little barb of their head reaches the bottom, then you want to surge away before it actually reaches the bottom, because if you don't, you'll get hit for like half your hit points. And yeah, that's pretty much it. By now they either should be dead or low hit points. Just continue to finish them off. If you don't kill them quickly enough, they'll start to do their special moves again, starting with the beginning one. They'll always do them in the same order, so don't worry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All you have to do is rinse and repeat. This is a pretty fun boss when you get used to it, because by that time you're pretty much doing this brainlessly, and you can watch YouTube videos or do whatever whilst doing it. So yeah, this is a really fun boss to get into. And then obviously once you start getting the big drops, you just want to come here even more. But anyway, that is the end of the guide. I hope this helped you. If you have any more boss guide ideas, leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace!